Hi, I'm Tom Hughes. Today we're talking with Red Wing's Planning Director, Brian Peterson, about the Highway 61 project. It's going, right?
It's going, Tom.
Cool. We're going to start.
Well, on Monday, March 23rd, the City Council approved the low bid for the project. So now our engineering department is working with the contractor, and they will start as soon as we have thaw out of the ground and the contractor can mobilize his crews. So we hope early this spring if the weather holds up for us.
Cool. And you never know, we could have another May 2nd where we have a whole bunch of snow. Would that cause a problem if we started the thing and it snows again?
Oh, well, they'll work around, usually snows at this time of the year, into April and May. They don't, they do melt fairly quickly, so they'll work around things like that. But what could slow it down a little bit is if we get a lot more cold weather, and delay it a little bit later into the spring.
We're hoping that doesn't happen.
Right.
Tell us about where they're going to start and the segment they're going to do this year.
Right, so we have a 2-year project. This is a project that over 2 years is going to completely reconstruct Main Street, Highway 61, roughly between the Old West Main Street intersection by Midway Auto and all the way east through our downtown, through our core downtown, to roughly where the ADM plant is on the Potter Street end of downtown. It's going to start on the west end, so it's going to start at the Old West Main Street intersection, and in this year, 2015, we're going to be reconstructing the roadway to Broad Street, to the YMCA, that section. Then next year in 2016, they'll go from the YMCA to Potter Street.
And do I understand that the Main Street will never be closed?
Yeah,
well, no, I don't say never, but I mean...
But generally speaking, the highway is going to be open for traffic. They're going to work on one side of the roadway, and so they'll have less lanes available, and then work on the other side of the roadway when they've got the half completed. So there'll always be lanes open, and they'll manage to keep intersections available to get to businesses. So if you need to get to any of the businesses along there, there'll be routes to get you there.
So Red Wing will not be closed?
Red Wing's not going to be closed. In fact, we've got a committee of city and port and businesses, our Chamber of Commerce, our Downtown Main Street, our Visitor Convention Bureau, all working in a committee called the Main Event. And they're doing a lot of things to help make this project easier for people to still come and do their business in downtown.
Well, those businesses want to stay open while this is going on, and they got to have income so they can pay their rent and all that too.
Oh, sure, and there are a lot of ways to get into our downtown than just on Main Street. So we have lots of alternative routes, and there'll be many ways of making that an easier, friendlier way to get downtown during this construction project.
Brian, can you tell us a little bit about the turning situation by the YMCA and then across the street by the Chamber? There's going to be a deal going on there, isn't there?
Yeah, well, Tom, there's so many great benefits of this project. We've lived with our current layout of
for a long time,
Main Street for a long, long time. And so this was an opportunity to really try to correct some problems that we've had, that we've noticed over many years on Main Street. Lots of things going on at Broad Street at that YMCA intersection. First off, there'll be a right turn lane for folks that are headed eastward that want to turn onto West Avenue off of Highway 61, off of Main Street. So you'll have that right turn lane. It'll be an easier motion for people. We're improving pedestrian crossings substantially at this intersection. We're able to reduce the distance between the curbs when you cross Main Street, especially on the YMCA side. It's going to be a much reduced distance because we're able to kind of bump the curb out where some of the parking lanes are. There'll be a double left-hand turn lane for, that movement that people make so much when they're on East Avenue at the intersection, kind of facing the YMCA, and they're making a left-hand turn onto the highway. There's going to be two turn lanes instead of the one that we have now. So the modeling that traffic engineers have done has showed clearly that will be able to move traffic much more efficiently. When that left-hand turn is happening, you won't be facing traffic crossing Main Street like we do now. We have all this, people playing chicken because they want to make,
pretty much it, yeah.
they want to make a left turn, and someone's coming up that hill from the YMCA and wants to come straight, and you don't know who's doing what. We won't have that anymore. The left turns will all happen with that traffic stopped. Also, when pedestrians are crossing on that, the opposite side of the YMCA, from the...
They won't have to run anymore?
From the Econo food side across the street, across Main Street, there'll be a push button there, and so that's only going to be activated for pedestrians when there's actually a pedestrian there, and then the left turners won't be happening then. That's been a real safety concern over the years because you got so much you're paying attention to, and then you got
I cross my fingers every time I'm going across the street.
You really have to pay attention as a pedestrian there now, and it should really improve the safety for pedestrians. So those are some of the big changes that are happening with that intersection. Just in general, Tom, we're, this is a project that's been a long time in the works from a planning perspective because we knew we wanted to make our downtown a friendlier place for pedestrians and bicyclists and safer for motorists too. And so one of the things that we're doing is we're creating some, I guess I call them gateway features at the Old West Main Street end of the project and at the Potter Street end of the project. We'll have bigger medians, landscaping, banner poles, kind of really introducing people to this.
Welcome to Red Wing.
Welcome to Red Wing. This
Nice.
is the entrance to our downtown. The travel lanes are going to be designed according to highway standards, but they're going to be narrower than they are today. They're much wider than they need to be, and that will tend to slow traffic down a little bit. We notice trucks and other vehicles sometimes kind of speeding through this section. Well, they're going to feel like they need to slow down a little bit, and that's a good thing, that we see traffic speeds go down a little bit. And that should help make downtown feel like a friendlier place to be.
Good. Can we get you in here after the project starts and see how it's going?
Oh, yeah, you bet.
Good. Well, thanks for coming in today, Brian.
Sure, thank you.
Brian Peterson, Planning Director. I'm Tom Hughes. Thanks for watching Red Wings Channel 6.